Hi, we are back again. As I've said, my name is Baxton, and today I'm so excited that the subscribers list is growing, and I would urge, as we kick into this session, do not forget to subscribe. Turn on the notifications because we are now officially up and running. We are on with all that we got, with all the materials that we have, and we are going to enjoy these sessions this much. An introduction that I gave previously was able to give us the footing in which we are going to be having our sessions and how they are going to be planned. You realize that the previous set which I posted here, set of videos, 5 in number, from set A to set E, that was part of a session which I organized with one of my students. Yeah, you'll realize that it was a conversation and teaching, most of the content coming from me. So I posted it there because I told you from our introduction that we are going to have what we call a recap series and also beginner series. So the recap series is the one which I posted, and it's the one that was having the 5 parts. Okay, now from that recap, the reason that I see it wise to have such recaps as well taken care of in the sessions is because you realize that as we are here, there are different guys, different people with different interests. Some of us want to learn from the beginning, while some of us want to learn just a portion or a part of whatever he or she feels that he or she wants to learn. So that's why that was posted despite not being a beginning or a beginner series session. Just had I informed you earlier, because there are those who just need that bit and then they are good, and then there are those who need the bit that from the principles, introduction, going on and on. That said, so I posted it there. It has got those 5 parts. Just follow. They are in order from based on the time that they were posted. So you can note I've also marked them A, B, C, D, and E. So those parts, they are following each other in that manner. And I believe that for those of us who want to just get that bit for the roofing and a few items on material schedule will be served just fine. I repeat, please subscribe. Let's grow together. The contents, as they have started coming, they are not going to pause. They'll keep coming on and on. So today I've talked about what we covered previously. So today is one of the beginner series that is officially starting. And from this beginner series, as the topic outlines, it from the channel name and the description outlines, this is a surveying and construction tutoring channel. Surveying is where we'd like to start so that we know what we are talking about. What is surveying? So to say, surveying is one of the professions in the construction industry. Not known to so many people. So many people actually, I find people confusing it with just the word surveying, which is mostly referred to. Some people can refer to it as land surveying, especially within the area most people have interacted with. So they say if they want survey for land, I want a piece of land somewhere, could you do that job? So I want to make it clear that surveying and land surveying, or surveying as some people refer to it, are different things. They are different field, different professions. So quantity surveying, I've told you, is a profession within the construction industry. And you'd ask, what does it talk about? What is it about? And why do I need a quantity survey after all? So quantity surveying entails costs. As simple as that. It also entails controlling that cost. So it's estimation of the cost of construction, controlling the cost of construction, and also maintaining the budget. That is why it's so crucial, because whichever venture that you are willing or you are about to take to venture into, to indulge into as a client, or just while just in your random thoughts that you want to venture into something, the most crucial thing would be, how much would it cost me? How much would I need to part with to build such a house, and so on. So as time goes, technology builds, and people move on, you realize that many people are interested and want to know the details first beforehand, before they take into consideration and conduct such a certain job. So you would learn from the professionals, but before the professional tells you a thing, you as an interested party, you should be able to understand that language, because it's important for communication. It's also important for you to make sure that you get exactly what you are looking for, to get that value. So it's a profession coming to input his skills into your work, but then you as the consumer, you need to know, you need to understand the language he's speaking, so that you take it well, and then you communicate easily. You are able to give him easy time, understand what he's doing, and then you become a better consumer when you are having knowledge of what you are intending to have, or intending to consume, so to say. So let me I've talked about quantity surveying is about cost, estimation of the cost of that construction, controlling the cost of that construction. So from the aspect of control, it involves now the deeper understanding of the quantity surveying. How do you control the cost? How do you make sure that the budget that was projected for this particular construction is going to be maintained? Now that is when you now get deeper into the details of quantity surveying. For instance, if you have a project, you will need to estimate that this project will take, for example, 3 million Kenya shillings to put up, or 100,000, $200,000, and so on and so forth. Saying it, estimating it is never enough, because you now need to implement it and make sure that that projected cost is what is used, or rather you can say a plus or a minus, a small margin of extra coins. That is now when you're talking the language quantity surveying. So it's so crucial. For example, there are other items that are entailed, which as the sessions go by, we are going now to look into deeper details of how to utilize the given parameters of quantity surveying, so that you are able to control the cost based on those given parameters that we are going to look into further details when we now begin the principles of estimation. Then we now go to how now the actual estimation, building up the rates, and so on and so forth. Second, we'd like to say that we've talked about why the quantity surveying is crucial, why you'll need the quantity surveyor on site, and what the quantity surveyor does. It's also important that we talk about who are now the other members of this profession. Assuming that not everyone not everyone has the idea of what is going on site. So for example, you've known a quantity surveyor, then you are going to, there are those that unless he's trained into, is not going to help you with. But then there are those that there are other colleagues or other professionals within the construction field who are going to work hand in hand with the quantity surveying. For example, the issues of design, not all quantity surveyors can design, because when they are when their work, let me say they have done what we call now venturing into the specific field, then and specializing in quantity surveying, then it's not obvious that they are going to do other specializations like designing, structural engineering works of the construction, and so on. So we give the quantity surveyor what is the part that is dealing with. Well, talking of cost control, I've just mentioned to you that we have cost estimation, cost control as a part of the definition of quantity surveying. It's also important to note that in quantity surveying, there are those basic items which are now going to be related directly to the prices, or what we call rates, which is now going to be going to be used in the build-up of now the ultimate cost of doing a project. And the basics of such would include just material, which covers the most percentage of that cost at the end of the day. Then we have labor. We also have labor. We also have transport. We also have equipment, or what we can call the machineries. So all those are items that are going to make the ultimate cost. So for example, for whatever the final consumer of the products from the quantity surveyor would be, for example the client, you'll be seeing a price or a rate, but then you won't really understand that how did this come about. So the rate, they are normally what we call a unit rate. That is what we use to prepare for you the bills of quantities. So for this unit rate, I've told you that we will be talking about prices of materials, you'll be talking about the cost of labor, we'll be talking about the machineries, we'll also be talking about items like transport, overheads, profit of the contractor, and so on. So all these are normally calculated, and then you come to what we call now the unit rate, which is now the product or the item, or let me say the figure that you will be seeing under what we call the prices. So when you look at the prices, now that is now the work that happens behind the closed doors, so that it's done, the calculation is done, and then you come up with a unit rate. For example, if you see that you now have like a cubic meter of concrete is coming to about let me say 13,000 for example, you would be wondering how did this come about. So it's just a calculation of the items that I've mentioned, including material, labor, transport, overhead, machineries, all that they're calculated, and then you now have a unit rate. The importance of this is because there is normally a hitch between communication from the professional guys and the clients or the final consumers. So when you've seen the item reading a given figure, then you should be having idea that what exactly could be the factor that led to arriving to this given cost. So the factors are the ones that I've just hinted to you, and that is now the detailed part of quantity surveying. So these items, they are normally derived from now, for example, I've told you there is another participant in the field, a very crucial one, that is now the architect. Once the drawings have been done, they are read by the quantity surveyor, then you now build what we call the bills of quantities. So the concept that doing the bills of quantities is the only work of the QS doesn't sit well, because there is more to it, and I've just mentioned to you that you estimate or you build the cost of a project, and then you now control that cost. There are other items that also involves within the quantity surveying, which we'll be covering in our subsequent lectures. So they are as important as such, because you as the client, you as the reader now, you need to know exactly how the final item has been come up with. Okay, so for this session is entirely just to bring to light what is quantity surveying and why you need it, and I've emphasized more than once that you need this course, you as a beginner and also you as a consumer, random consumer of the products of the quantity surveying, because knowledge, transparency, and being able to inquire of one or two items which involves quantity surveying is so crucial. It makes you realize that you need this product. It's important for you. You are able to finish your project because you are able to involve the right guy, who is the quantity surveyor, to estimate for you the work. Also helps you control that cost, so without having to gamble one here and one the other side, so that your focus is lost. You end up spending more than you wanted or more than you anticipated because you didn't involve the right guy. When you involve the QS in your projects, you involve the quantity surveyor in doing your job, you are able to have the right approach in terms of cost, the right approach in terms of the control of that cost, and also making sure that your budget is maintained and you are able to see through your project without having to having it stalled because of rash decisions which were not properly planned. At the end of the day, you lose. Yeah. The next item that I would like to talk about is concerning the rules. This is now going to set the foundation for our next session, that is going to be on the standard methods of measurement, because you will see that there are items that you might not be understanding. Why is this one here? What is the basis of this? Now those are the rules that we are talking about. These rules, they vary depending on the source or the governing body, the corporate bodies that are there. For example, the IQSK, there is now what we call the standard methods of measurements. So from these standard methods, as the name suggests, the standards, so that one quantity surveyor working from a given city, say Nairobi, and another quantity surveyor working from the rural sides of the country, they are able to have one communication. They are able to communicate easily because the reliance on one rule. So when you see there are different items that we are going to look into, if you talk about concrete, it should be measured in cubic meters, for example, and that given rule is now constant across from one quantity surveyor to the other. So that is the rule that we are going to learn in our next session, to see exactly how that rule, those rules are applied. Just selected, there are quite a number, so definitely we want to be able to look into all of them one by one. Of course, majority of them will be coming across as we will be looking into the actual work, the actual measurements of one item and the other. So before then, we are now just going to look at an overview of selected items, of how to, these rules are the rules that are there, how to measure the given items. For example, I've talked about square meter, linear meters, kgs, and so on and so forth, so that you are able to understand that when you're talking about a given item, this is the rule, this is how to measure it. And then now our next session will be building up on that now how to get such items or such quantities in the unit that we shall have learned, and then we now use those given rules into now the final item, which is now the bills of quantities. So that was a foundation for our next session coming to, which is going to be availed anytime before the following day, so that we have the next item, which is now going to give us the those principles of measurements, giving you now the actual items to measure. And then now the following session definitely would be giving you now how to use those rules to interpret the drawings, measure them, prepare the bills of quantities. And also, you who is not interested in making the bills of quantities, you are now going to have that insight of interpreting an item, that this is a square meter, this is the symbol of it, and this is how it's used, and so on and so forth. So on our topic of what's when surveying is coming to a close, you're just urged to keep in touch. The next session is now going to be on principles of estimation, or principles of measurement, especially now the standard methods of measurements. We're just going to have an overview of a few items in there, and then the rest will be covered as we'll be doing the actual measurement coming into our subsequent sessions. So this brings us to a close to what is quantity surveying, beginner series 001. Please do not forget to subscribe, so that as the next session arrives, you'll be there to wait for it and consume what is right for you. Thank you very much. See you in the next session.